I will now take the pleasure of introducing our chief guest. Born in an aristocratic family in the year 1944 in Samathur, a village of Tamil Nadu, he qualified himself as a barrister and later entered into business. But that apart, he came under the powerful influence of spiritual masters and great political leaders of India. The high ideals of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi had a profound impact on him. As chairman of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, an organization committed to preserve and propagate the ancient wisdom of India, he has done immense service to spread the glory of India through lectures and cultural programs. Again, as chairman of Divyodaya, an organization founded to initiate inter-religious dialogue, he has worked for preserving the unique pluralistic culture of India. He was responsible for erecting a life-size bronze statue of Mahatma Gandhi in his hometown Pollachi, which serves as a symbol of truth and non-violence. He was also the first chairman of Kural, the Voice of Coimbatore, formed during 2006 to act as a common platform for the various NGOs to give expression to the aspirations of people. As a prominent leader of the Rotary movement, he has worked for universal peace and brotherhood. In appreciation of his service, Rotary has honored him with the Outstanding Citizen Award for the year 2001 and gave him the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2007. In the field of education, his contribution has been significant. He is the president of NGM College, Pollachi, and co-chairman of Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore. He has served in the management committees of many leading schools and colleges and has worked for making values an integral part of the curriculum. In recognition of the good work done in this field, he was nominated to the Senate and Syndicate of the Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, which he served with distinction. Currently, he is a member of its planning board. He handled the responsibility of leading the textile industry with great vision, and due to his untiring efforts, the cotton technology mission meant to increase cotton production was sanctioned by the Government of India with a fund allocation of over $150 million. In appreciation of his global perspective and secular credentials, he was invited by His Highness Pope John Paul II to attend the Day of Prayer for Peace in the World held at Vatican during January 2002. His speech there was widely acclaimed, and the same was published by Vatican Secretariat. Sri Ramakrishna Mission Coimbatore, in commemoration of their Platinum Jubilee celebrations, awarded him the Vivekananda National Award for Excellence in February 2006. I would like to invite him to deliver his speech, Channelizing Youth Power the Vivekananda Way.
Most revered Swamijis of the Ramakrishna Mission, distinguished professor, other dignitaries and friends. At the outset, I would like to thank the friends of the Vivekananda Study Circle to have invited me here to speak to you. I should also compliment these young friends who have sustained this movement for the last 15 years. I heard Ashish speak. I now wonder whether I have anything more to speak. I should compliment you. At this age, you have acquired this much knowledge. The size of the gathering doesn't really matter. I have addressed thousands of people, Swamijis know. Perhaps this could be one of the smallest gathering I am addressing, but that doesn't make any difference. The numbers don't matter, the quality matters. I could see in your faces the admiration you have for that great man and your commitment to the cause for which he stood for. That's what really matters. I'm given a topic you all know, Channeling Youth Power the Vivekananda Way. We've been listening to Swamiji and the professor and Ashish. In one way or other, they have virtually exhausted the topic. They have left nothing for me to add to it. But anyway, having come here, I too have to say something. And I'm conscious of the fact that I am at IIT. the pride of India. And you are easily, perhaps, the most blessed youth of the time. Imagine for a minute how many of your brothers and sisters, even after 65 years of freedom, can't dream of even primary education, leave alone IIT. It's not too sure of the next meal. Do not have another pair of clothes to wear. Don't have a shelter of their own. And what is even worse, nobody to care and share love with them. This is the hard reality of the nation after 65 long years. Now you'll know how blessed you are. And as she said, you are conscious of the fact that you owe something back to the community which has given you all this, isn't it? It is here comes Swami Vivekananda, who constantly reminds us of our obligation to the society. All of us are what we are because of the society. So naturally, we owe a responsibility to repay the gratitude. A time should come when your circle meetings should be held in the biggest auditorium of this institution, which I'm told can take how many thousand? Which is the biggest auditorium? 5,000. A day should come, Swami, when 5,000 students should be seated with great anxiety, rather inquisitiveness, to know of this great man. As was said by Tagore, to know India, know Vivekananda. It's enough. You read one book of this great man, you'll get to know this blessed land of ours. So with this background, let me move into the topic proper. We don't have an open mind, professors. We have a closed mind. So much of ego in us. We refuse to even listen to the other man's point of view, leave alone agreeing to it. But you kids, I'm sorry to call you as kids, you are kids, beautiful kids. You have an open mind, you're receptive to new thoughts and ideas, and you will even experiment it because you don't have ego. Agree? The third most important thing, you dare and adventure, which we don't. You dare and adventure. You think differently and act courageously and try out new things which we don't. So for these three reasons, all along you will see in the history, all great men who have brought about great changes in their times have all pinned their hope on you, including the present Anna Hazare. So that being the case, now what is Swamiji's message? It's agreed that you are the ones who can change a nation or even decide the destiny of your times. You need only a handful of people. This many number is enough. You have 4,000 students here. Is it how many in this campus? 5,000, but you have perhaps a little more, about 100 or 150 students here. It's enough. To tell you the truth, at the end of the day, if 10 of you decide to be different, you can change the face of the world. Once Swami Vivekananda said, this is a quotation you must listen to very carefully, one that I like it most. He says, I quote, "People laugh at me because I am different." Agree? People laugh at me because I am different. And he goes on to say, I laugh back at all of them because they are all the same. Give a hand for that. So you are those little wonderful kids who choose to be different. And you, believe me, are the ones who are going to decide the destiny of your time. Don't get demoralized if you don't attract the crowds. Crowds just don't matter. In fact, you'll be surprised to know some of the best conversations of Vivekananda had always been in small parlor meetings in US and UK, in small groups, 5, 10, sitting on the fireside. Swamiji was at his best, but we only know some of his most well-known lectures. But there is a book I want you to read, Reminiscence of Swami Vivekananda. Note it. So go to Ramakrishna Mission bookshop, you will get it. Where you will get to know the man. All of us know his ideas, his philosophy, his style and everything. But we don't know much about the man, the personality of this great person, Swami Vivekananda. And recently a book has come, Swami Vivekananda on himself. Ramakrishna books, you know, are very unique. They have taken from various places where Swamiji has revealed himself and put them together, and this book is available in, I just saw it there. So you got to understand this man. Today's education provides you all the knowledge, and I don't have to say about IIT. All the knowledge is there for the asking. But what is lacking is application. Mere knowledge makes no sense. What really matters is what you do with the knowledge. So in between knowledge and application is wisdom. How to be constructive, how to be meaningful, how to be purposeful. Only when that happens, the knowledge makes sense. Or else just knowledge for the sake of knowledge can at times be even destructive. Some of the worst terrorists of late are all students who have come out of premier institutions. What does this mean? So mere knowledge doesn't make any difference. This little circle in this vast campus can make the difference in this whole campus if you, Ashish and others, could find a way how to reach your brothers and sisters in this very campus. There are ways. I would like you to sit around and think about it. While you are all most fortunate to be part of the circle and you're right now here, you're going to be benefited. See, to be in IIT itself guarantees you success in life, agreed? But that is not the life, that is not the topic. This topic is not to tell you what Vivekananda tells you to be successful in life. This topic is how Vivekananda can help you to be successful in life, and later how to share the success with others who are not that successful. That's where Vivekananda comes. So the topic says channeling youth power. Youth, channeling it for what? India is a vast country. No government, however sincere or honest, could deliver results. It's too huge and very complex. Every citizen of the nation has a role to play. The civil society has to be sensitized to supplement the efforts of an elected government. And that training has to begin from the school. While introducing me, they said I belong to the Bhavan family, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan family. There we do that. We have a separate department of human excellence, where we tell the children the 6 values: the personal values, the family values, the professional values, the social values, the national values, and the global values. We got to transform our children from that of an individual to a global personality. That's the vision of Swami Vivekananda, the so-called popular man making education. Swamiji felt that there is divinity in every one of us. How to give expression to that divinity? That is the power, the youth power. There is divinity in every one of us. If you give expression to that divinity, you get expanded. You become limitless. There's nothing then you can't achieve in life. Isn't this not enough for a youth to transform into a great achiever later on in life? How sad. All these thousands of your brothers and sisters have no way of knowing this. This knowledge and this education has its own limited purpose. Beyond that, believe me, career is not the goal in life. Career is not the goal in life. The goal has to be independent of the career, and the career has to subserve the goal and not the goal itself. That is the vision of the great man. It is rare to be born a human being, Swamiji said. It is rare to be born a human being because it is an opportunity to be celebrated, not to be lost in mundane material pursuits. It has to be lived for a great cause. So it is rare to be born a human being, and it is considered to be the crowning glory of all creations. There is nothing above us on earth, because you and I are the only ones who can know our true selves. If you want, you can get rid of your ignorance and gain the supreme knowledge of yourself. Expand and aspire for bigger things in life. Career is not the goal. India needs you. Even after 65 long years, as I told you, there's still so much of poverty, ignorance and illiteracy. Why? It is easy to blame the politician. It is easy to blame the bureaucracy. It is easy to blame the media. But what is it you and I are doing? One young guy went and asked Swami Vivekananda, Swami, nothing is all right, what is it I can do? The reply was, if everything is all right, my son, what is there for you to do? So nothing is going to be in our favor. But it is up to you to change everything. Somebody went and asked Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma, are you sure that you are going to see freedom in your lifetime? Mahatma said, I don't know. I am just doing what the day demands. What is going to be the result? I don't know. So what you have to decide today is, never ask the question, can I do it? Can I change everything? Yes, Swamiji said, you change first. Then you will get all the power to change everything around you. Like powerful words. See, there had been saints all along, right from Veda Vyasa to Vivekananda, there had been any number of saints and seers. Why in the 21st century the world is focusing on this one man? It is not the Vivekananda way, it is the Vivekananda style. When you sent me this topic, this is what struck me. There is no such thing as Vivekananda way. As the professor said, it is all Vedanta. People have been interpreting it all along. The basic truth is already there. But Vivekananda style, Mahakavi Bharati style, earlier, there had been any number of poets prior to him. But why Mahakavi Bharati stands out? Why Vivekananda stands out? It is not the knowledge part of it, the way they communicated it. It pierces into the minds of the people. Otherwise, why should Obama, while addressing the Indian Parliament, mention only about Swami Vivekananda? The President of America mentions Vivekananda while addressing the Parliament of the nation. So friends, it is rare to be born a human being, and if you like to know in the very words of the great Swami Vivekananda, what it is to be born a human being. I quote, are you all listening to me? The ones in the rear were safely perched in the dim lights. I don't know whether you are really alive or not. Listen to me. Never forget the glory of human nature. We are the greatest gods. Christs and Buddhas are but waves on the boundless ocean which I am. Look at the power. Who has said it like this? Never forget the glory of human nature. We are the greatest gods. Christs and Buddhas are but waves on the boundless ocean which I am. I am the ocean. All these gods are nothing but ripples and waves. So we should know it is not, after many births, this birth we have come on this earth as full-fledged human beings with the ability to discriminate. We are the makers of our own destiny. We can be what we want to be. Nothing stops us. We are limitless. It is only our ignorance that limits us. And all these great men have come and gone only to erase that ignorance in us. And you are the gifted ones today, in this evening, to be here. The merciful God has blessed you this evening for you. Don't think it is by accident you have come here, but by sheer providence you are here. Because IIT education plus Vivekananda goodness, what's going to be your future? Imagine. Kai tatla. A friend of mine is doing it like this. Why? I have not said anything wrong. So as I told you, if you want India to be a superpower, as Abdul Kalam says, Abdul Kalam says, dream. I am a good friend of this great man. He was with us last week, 10 days back at Coimbatore. I told him, sir, you asked the boys and girls to dream, so they've gone into sleep. Then he told me, goodness, then I must clarify this. நான் சொல்லுகின்ற கனவு உறக்கத்தில் வருகின்ற கனவல்ல, உங்களை உறங்க விடாமல் செய்கின்ற கனவு. Abdul Kalam's dream is not a dream you get in your sleep, but a dream that will not put you to sleep. That was, and this man has said in the same words. See, India needs leadership today. India has everything for the asking. We have abundant natural resources. We have abundant human resources. And we have 5,000 years of culture. Which other nation is blessed with all these fundamentals? In spite of that, why are we lagging behind so much? It is because of the fact that you and I have a dream for ourselves, but no dream for the nation as a whole. You agree? And it is here that Mahatma Gandhi did the trick. The nation was very much the same even then. But this man could unite the whole nation. He made the freedom struggle a people's movement which otherwise was confined to Gymkhana clubs and English clubs. People wearing three-piece suits stitched in America with imported liquor, proposing toast to each other and to India. That was the freedom struggle prior to Mahatma. Then came Mahatma. He made it into a people's movement. And one historian said, Mahatma addressed not to the head of India, but to the heart of India. That is what we need today. Nation building has to become the priority of every Indian. It's not enough you go and exercise your franchise once in 5 years and leave everything to them and wait for an Anna Hazare to come. How many, believe me, one Anna Hazare or one Lokpal bill is not going to put an end to corruption. What is needed in India today, now note this very carefully, my young friends, what is needed today is a cultural renaissance in this nation. That is what Swami Vivekananda triggered off during his lifetime. And he said, for another 1,000 years, I will be heard and listened to and understood and appreciated in the world, he said. He declared it himself. These men have a trace of arrogance also. When the Nobel Prize was given to Tagore, you know what Mahakavi Bharati said? These idiots didn't know that I am also there in India. Had they known, they would not have given it to this bearded fellow. It would have come to me. That's the arrogance. Arrogance of knowledge and wisdom together. What we need is knowledge and wisdom, a synthesis of knowledge and wisdom. And that is why all these, look at these men of renunciation. They live for us. Every morning when you read the newspaper, are you all happy? Does it resemble this great nation of ours? Tell me, when you ever read in the newspaper last something good? But I can tell you one thing. One great man has said one thing. There exists two Indias. One India that comes in the newspaper. All the filth, all the dirt, there is a one other India that never comes in the newspaper, something like Vivekananda Study Circle of the IIT. This meeting is not going to be reported tomorrow. I didn't come all the way from Coimbatore thinking tomorrow I am going to be mentioned. Neither you are organizing this with the hope that tomorrow you will be recognized and rewarded. No. We are doing it because, as Mahatma said, we are doing the duty the day demands. So now what is this Vivekananda way? Time is running out. Please caution me when the time is out. I'm sorry, I have not kept track. I'm given 30 minutes, but one of you please take care. It is in your own interest. Now, nothing will be to our favor externally. Agreed? The politicians will be what they are. The media will be as it is. The bureaucracy will be the same. Everything will be the same. But you can be different if you undergo an internal adjustment. This is what nowadays they call it as, now since you are engineering students, this is known as inner engineering. You have no control over the world outside, isn't it? You have no control over the world outside. But if you want, you can keep out. And for this, I'm going to give you a quotation of Vivekananda. In my opinion, this is easily the best. This should be written in every educational institution all over the nation. It goes like this, I quote, "Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship, or by psychic control or philosophy, by one or more, or all of them, and be free." This is the Vivekananda way. So ultimately, what is the goal of life? To free yourself of this bondage and fix your mind on something lofty and pursue it with all the vigor at your command, irrespective of the fact whether you're going to succeed or not. But at the end of it, be happy that you have pursued the right path and you were different. It's nice to be different. I was closely associated with yet another senior monk of the Ramakrishna mission who was the former president, Swami Ranganathananda Maharaj. Some of you would have heard his name. Yes. His quotation, "Character training through intelligent self-discipline makes human energy socially oriented." Go around the world, friends, any number of times. Step into all the libraries on earth. Read all the books and come back with another quotation, even 50% to this. How profound are these words of wisdom? Can I repeat it for you? You don't mind? Right. Character training, இதுதான் education. This is education. Tell your director tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know him. Character training through intelligent self-discipline makes human energy socially oriented. If this were to be the education policy of this nation, India would have become a superpower long back. What we neglected in the name of education was human resource development. We forgot to tell the youth of this nation the last 60 and odd years that you are potentially divine and you can be what you want to be. This is one thing we have forgotten to mention 60 years back, as a result of which, in spite of the fact that thousands and thousands of crores have been spent in the name of education, hundreds and thousands of schools and colleges and universities have come. But at the end of it, our education, I'm sorry to say, is not the education this nation deserves. We brought in a green revolution. We brought a white revolution. We now have brought an IT revolution. But what is really lacking is cultural renaissance. We got to get back to our roots. You cannot find solutions to the current problems of the nation and humanity unless you look back. You got to look back. Professor said about Sanskrit. Equally so, all this is there in my language, Tamil as well. But we don't pay respect to any of these damn things. We thought it's all not needed. Sanskrit is not needed. Tamil is not needed. Telugu is not needed. Malayalam is not needed. Nothing is needed. English will deliver everything. Yes, to an extent agreed. In this globalized world, to interact with the world, you need English. Agreed. But that doesn't mean you should deviate from your roots and get lost in the wilderness. That is what the nation is today. The nation today is weak and vulnerable, unable to meet any challenge. The parliaments and state legislatures unable to cope with the challenge. It's only the Supreme Court that is really directing the affairs of this nation. Isn't this a dangerous trend? Why? Why have all this happened? It is because we have deviated from where we really belong to. So small groups like this can make the difference. Now to you youngsters, one more quotation of Vivekananda, which explains everything. It goes like this. We reap what we sow. Agreed? You understand? We reap what we sow. We are the makers of our own fate. The wind is blowing. Those vessels whose sails are unfurled catch it and go forward on their way. But those which have their sails furled do not catch the wind. Is that the fault of the wind? We make our own destiny. Look at the power. The wind is blowing, but you keep the sails furled. You don't catch the wind. So you're stuck and stagnate. But if you open it out, allow it to face the wind moves. What does this mean? What is the meaning? The merciful God has given us all the same capabilities, and opportunities keep knocking our doors every other day. But those of you who are vigilant and intelligent catch it and move forward. But those of you who are not intelligent and vigilant miss it. Don't blame the merciful God. You make your own destiny. Can there be a powerful message than this for the youth of the 21st century? I know ordinary village kids who studied in the local language in government schools are doing very well today. At the same time, I know kids who come from big families, who had their education in English public schools, and later on even in IITs perhaps, have not made it to the top. So beyond education, beyond knowledge, there's something else that determines success. What is that? That is the divinity in man. Knowing it and giving expression to it. That is the spirituality of India. Every nation has its own strength. The strength of India is her spirituality. It is that spiritual culture that has sustained the civilization. There had been any number of great civilizations in the world, but all of them are only in the museums. The only living culture on earth is the Bharatiya culture. But we should not be complacent about it. We got to know more about it and make full use of it. Then alone we will be able to make it. So with this I close. Since none of you are helping me in telling me whether the time is gone or not, I myself, as a matter of self-discipline, because I know the discipline of IIT, I know the discipline of Ramakrishna Mission, a small slip will come. Many an occasions. Today they are somehow they are not doing it. I don't know why, because it is a different place. If I were in the Ramakrishna Mission, thank you friend, you spoke so well, but your time is up. So I can stretch for another 10 minutes, but what to say more? This has been functioning for the last 15 years, and you are somewhat introduced to this great man and his gospel. There is no match to him in the whole world. Today the whole world is recognizing him. What is so unique about this one man? There has to be something unique. You said about what Mahatma Gandhi said. You said what Tagore said. Do you all know what Subhash Chandra Bose has said about this? He says like this: had I not involved myself in the freedom struggle of this great nation, I would have been seated at the feet of this great man learning Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda never participated directly in the freedom struggle of the nation, but believe me, right from Mahatma Gandhi to the ordinary Satyagrahi, the whole lot were influenced by Vivekananda. All they were doing in the jails those days, every evening, somebody will read passages of Vivekananda, and all these great men will sit around and listen to him and draw inspiration, including Mahatma Gandhi. Jawaharlal Nehru, who is considered to be an atheist, he says he's the best, that the link between the past and the present, the tradition and modernity. There is nobody equal to this great man. So to many people, the Pujya Rajaji has said, if not for this one man, we will never be free. So he never participated in the political activity those days, but believe me, he was behind everything. Even today, when I meet great men of various walks of life, they do tell me at some point of time in their life, they read a passage or a sentence or a quotation of Vivekananda, and that made the difference. Once Kapil Dev told me at Coimbatore, I am what I am because of this great man. I gave him a book of Vivekananda. He said, my friend, one little book for 3 rupees, he told me, which he bought in the Ramakrishna Mission book fair somewhere, 3 rupees, made me what I am. So there are many number of scientists. Raja Ramanna once told me in Bangalore, I am what I am because of Swami Vivekananda. So to you young friends, read more. In your weekly meetings, you said you will sit around. Don't bother about the crowds. Don't, see, இதுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு புண்ணியம் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். புரியலையா? How many cannot understand Tamil here? Goodness. Am I in Tamil Nadu or somewhere else? What it means is you got to be blessed to be here, not otherwise. You can't stray into this. This is not a place for entertainment. This is a place for enlightenment. To be part of the study circle, it is a matter of pride. Only thing is spread this gospel. Meet all your friends and give them, print out small 1-page quotation or 4 or 5 quotations and put Swami Vivekananda study circle. Put about 5 or 6 quotations and give it to them. Whether they read it or not, whether they accept it or not, just don't bother. But listen to this. This man won't let you go that easily. He will enter into you. He will haunt you for the rest of your life. That's the power of this great man. I'm indeed very happy to have come here and had an evening to, I came only for this. Swamiji asked me, don't tell me you flew to Madras only for this. Swamiji, even if there are only 2, I will come. Crowds don't matter. 4 or 5 students left before I started speaking. I feel sorry for them. But I am content with those of you who preferred to stay back and listen to me. Thank you all very much.
I thank Dr. Krishnaraj for having spoken so splendidly. It was truly enlightening.